Oh, it is stunning up here. I found a perfect spot to take a look at your sends of the month. The riding that you guys have been sending in, that everyone can enjoy, and it's the riding you're proud of because you've really gone for it. I've narrowed it down into some categories that I've invented this month. We've got all sorts of things like people who are showing off. So we've got our showboaters, and we've got our progression, people who are trying stuff and it's their first attempt, they're pushing themselves a bit harder, the progression session. And then we've got the guys who are really, really going for the big stuff, the big hitters. And we have got some people who are trying their luck, and I've narrowed it down to one special winner of that category too. So let's take a dive into this month's sends and see what riding you've been doing. So our first category are the showboaters, and we're going to start with Fraser, who's riding an orange blood. He's in Danbury and he's always wanted to pull a bar spin. Now look at him coming into this trail. He's got a nice little setup jump. He's building the speed, and as he comes in, he's going to throw this bar spin. So the tension's building. There it is. You know what? Doing a bar spin is really, really scary. I've only done it one time, and it took me absolutely ages to get the bottle up to just throw those bars. But you made it look really, really easy, Fraser. That is really cool. Not something you see on the trail that much, so it's definitely very, very fitting for the showboaters category. So you're in with a chance of a win here, but let's see who else you're up against. Next up, we've got more hands off. I really like this. This is Connor. He's in New Zealand. He's found a fantastic step down, and boom, off he goes. Throws that no-hander. This is cool actually, because it's a suicide no-hander, remember? He's gripping the saddle with his knees, just throwing those hands back, and then he's got to grab the bars again. So it's a really difficult trick, and I love how he's pulled it. It looks sick when this happens out on the trail, doesn't it? Go on, Connor. Let's have another look at that one. Coming in hot. Boom! Short little edit, but really like the trick. Don't know if you've got enough to win this one, but you're in the running. I like it a lot. Who else we got? Oh, the showboaters category is hotting up. Next, we've got Cooper in South Australia. He's riding a recluse. He said this manual took a few goes, but look at that. Coming in, hop down, holds it to manual, and it just looks like he can do them all day. Really like that one. It's Chris Smith-esque. Good bit of riding that. Who else we got? We've got Ollie on his Santa Cruz. Oh, trying this stoppy, jumping into that, and then boom, holds it, doesn't go OTB over the bars. Oh, such a great feeling when you get stoppy rolling and it's all in control. Definitely got that one in control. Really like your job there. Well done, Ollie. What are you riding? It's Santa Cruz Mega Tower. Done a nice job of that. Let's have one more look. What? Ah, yes! Like that a lot. The showboaters are setting quite a standard this month, aren't they? Next up, we've got, oh, look at this. It's Wayne, and he's riding a trials bike. Now, this trials bike is quite funny, actually, there's a story here. This is an Ashton Diamondback. So I designed that bike, I drew them decals, and thank you, Wayne, for getting hold of one. And you're riding it really well. It's a bit of a vintage trials bike these days, but you're doing a great little gap there. Love it. That sound. So, oh, it's brilliant. My childhood was filled with that noise of Maguras grabbing hold with tar on the rims and filed down rims to get the grip. So brilliant. Love it. Let's have one more look at Wayne's trials riding skills. It's quite a big gap, that. It's got some good back wheel control. Yes, like it, Wayne. Nice bit of showboating. Okay, showboaters, who are we giving it to? I think I'm gonna go with Cooper on the Recluse. I like that a lot, great bit of riding. You are our showboater of the month. Good job. Right, let's keep moving. Our next category is trying their luck. Now, we've only got one man in on this, and it's obviously a great bit of riding, and his riding is good, you can tell, but he is riding his luck on this little bit of gap jump on a lovely little pump track. This is in Bristol in the UK, but as you can see, Oliver comes in on his GT Le Bomb, and oh man, he just about gets away with that drop in the front ending. Look at that nose coming in. Ooh, man, those shocks were deciding whether to go forwards or backwards and you go over the bars. That was very close. You've obviously got some skills, but you are definitely our man who was riding his luck this month. Got away with that one, man. Right, let's take a look at the riders who are progressing their skills this month and really sending things for the first time. Now, this has been sent in by Colin. Now, I'm not sure if it's Colin riding or this is Colin and his son, but his son here is out on a black mountain. Great little bikes, really adaptable, actually grow with the kid, and you get a long riding time out of these bikes. But he's sending it over a proper gap here. Look at that. So good. Oh, fantastic bit of riding and definitely a rider to watch there. Thanks for sending it in, Colin. You are very well fitting into our progression session category this month, but you're up against some stiff competition. Next up, we have got Finn riding his Kona. Now, he'd been looking at this gap a bit. He was thinking, could he do it? But once he finally did do it, he did step it on that bit because he managed to trick it. Now, I can't quite tell on this little clip whether you get your foot back over or you land one-footed, but it's very close. It's a great bit of riding, Colin, but definitely some good progression there. And it's really cool that you picked up the courage to ride that gap, but then decided to push it even further with a bit of a trick. Nice bit of riding. Well done. Next up, we've got Kane Marshall sending a big gap for his dad on Father's Day. Now, look at this. We're up, and he just disappears into the wilderness. I think he lands it all right, although I think it's hard to tell on this jump because he just disappears out of sight. But Godspeed. I hope you did do it. It's a great bit of riding if you did. It's certainly a big gap, and it says here that you are only a youngster, 8 years old. It's an incredible gap for an 8-year-old. Well done. Nice bit of riding, Kane. Love it. It's in the Sky Park in Santa's Village. YT Jeffsy Primus, 24-inch. Sent in from David. Well done, Kane. Great bit of riding. Happy Father's Day, David. Your son is progressing. Next up, we have got Benjamin on his Trek Powerfly. This was his first day on an e-bike, and he's sending this massive drop. Look at this. Coming into this drop. Oh, it's pretty scary. This is in Norway, by the way. But what's cool, he's off that drop, and then look, he's got lots of speed, carries that next double, front end a bit high, but he's starting to enjoy it. Look at the third jump, beautiful, such good style, great bit of riding, and you could see him getting better all the way along that trail. Really nice. You're obviously getting on with the Trek Powerfly perfectly. It looks like it's the right bike for you. Well done, Benjamin. Right, lastly in our progression session, we've got Kakoa over in, he's in San Diego. Look at this, jump in this massive bush. It's brilliant. You wouldn't want to not make that gap, would you? You need to progress across that distance, else you are going to be in that bush. Look a little bit like some of these ones behind me. Great bit of riding. We've had some brilliant progression. So I'm not going to pick one of you guys for the progression session because I just like how you're all pushing yourselves, you're developing style, you're taking on things for the first time, you're adding in tricks, you're progressing along the trail as we watch it. Some great riding from all of you guys. So thank you for sending them in. But it's time to turn up the heat a little bit on our next category. Yes, it's time for the big hitters, and we're starting with one that when I saw this the first time, I was stunned. Look at this drop from Paul. I mean, oh my God, it's massive. Let's watch it a few times. I mean, it's a really big drop, and you can see by his friend just sat there, who apparently had to ride this after Paul because Paul egged him on to have a go as well. You can just see how big it is. I mean, I don't know how we would measure that, but I think we're looking at something like a drop from lip to landing of maybe 4 meters, I want to say. It's huge. It's really huge, and it's definitely not for the faint-hearted. But you've pulled it beautifully. It looks super smooth. Congratulations on that bit of riding. I would love to see a superposition photo on that step down. It's a great looking bit of riding. Yeah, and I was really shocked when I saw that the first time on the Dirt Shed show. So great bit of riding there, Paul. You're going to be hard to beat this week, but we have got some really big hitters. So who's up next? Right, next, look at this, 12-metre gap. Oh man, it's massive. This is Curtis, and he is riding a Trek Remedy. It's a brilliant bike, a brilliant rider to be able to send that gap. It's high speed, it's high risk. It's a long way, you don't want to get it wrong. There's all sorts of things going on that trail, lots of different lines, but you have sent it massively. I've got admiration for that because it's a great bit of riding. These big hitters this month are seriously pushing it. So we've got a lot going on here. Have we got anything that can go up against that one? Let's have a look. Yes, we have. Thank you, Monty, for sending this in. You're in the Channel Islands, just in between UK and France for a bit of geography there. Great bit of riding here. Unbelievable. Now, when I watched the first angle, just take a look. It looks like it's a bit of a boost off the edge there and you're losing control from behind. It looks like you're just starting to lose it. But now I've seen it from the side, you've got it all under control, just putting a bit of shape in there. So good. There's such a big gap. It was your first send of it. Great bit of style, great bit of riding. Big hitters this month are awesome. Last big hitter is Julian. Now, I really like this one because it's a big gap, but look at the style Julian puts in, and this is my favourite little bit of style tip out on the trail. I love when the bike's going one way and just turn the bars away from it, and Julian's done it there. Can we freeze frame there? Look at that style. Oh, Julian, what are you riding? You're on a Santa Cruz Nomad. It's over in Canberra in Australia. It's a great bit of riding. I mean, it's going to be hard to pick a big hitter. Let's just have a little look at all of them again.
Whoa, what?
And there's a big gap. There's a big drop there. Another big gap with some style and confidence. And then we've got Julian ending it up there. It's going to be hard to pick. Oh, how do I pick on big hitters this month? We've got Julian, Monty, Curtis, Paul. Got a big drop, couple of big gaps, some super style. I'm going with Paul because I remember when I first saw that, I just was stunned at the size of it. So for just magnitude, Paul, you are this month's big hitter on Sends of the Month. Oh, some amazing sends this month. I've loved looking at them. It's been some brilliant riding, really, really brilliant riding. It's great to see your riding, so thanks if you get a chance to send in your riding to our uploader. The link to that is in the description down below. And of course, you can subscribe to GMBN. You can also head over to the store and get yourself some merchandise, maybe a nice race top like I'm wearing. We always appreciate the support. But thanks for now for sending in those great bits of riding from all you guys this month. I'm going to see you next time on Sends of the Month, where we'll be celebrating your riding. Love it. Thanks for sending it in. See you next time.